Living in Minami.
It is time for Living in Minami, where I give you guys advice on how to live in Minami. But this information should be pretty useful whether you live in Minami or outside of Osaka. So today we're going to be talking about Juminhyo. This is your proof of residence. Whether you're a Japanese national or a foreign exchange student, every resident in Japan needs to register their address with their city. This is the most important thing to do when you move to Japan, because you basically need this for all of your other paperwork, your driver's license, getting a job, getting insurance. These all require a Juminhyo, proof of residence. You need to get your Juminhyo within 14 days of entering Japan. So if you have an address prior to moving to Osaka, this should be the first thing you do when you move. If you don't have an address yet, find a residence ASAP, as soon as possible, so you can get your proof of residence within 14 days of entering Japan. Okay, if you don't have an address before entering the country, you still need to submit your Juminhyo within 14 days of entering the country. Then you go to the ward office, that's the same ward as your address, and you need to bring the passports of everyone in the residence. So if you move to Japan with family, every one of your family members needs to have a passport, and you need to submit the passport at your ward office. If your passport, however, doesn't have that entry stamp because you went through the automatic gates, you also need to bring something to prove your flight. So be sure to hold on to your airplane tickets. You also need to bring your Zairyu Kado, your residence card, or a special permanent residence certification. I talked about the residence card on last week's episode of the English Guide to Minami. If you want to check that out, you can do so by searching on YouTube, the English Guide to Minami on Yes FM. So bring your passports. And if you don't have the stamps, also bring proof of your flight and your residence card. And once you're at the ward office, there should be signs that say which desk to go to. If you're confused, there should always be an information desk. And since you're already at the ward office, you might as well register for health insurance and a pension. The paperwork for these three are usually done all at once, and the person who helped you with your proof of residency will usually ask if you want to sign up for health insurance and pension. At least this is what happened with me when I went to submit my Juminhyo. They're like, oh, you have all the stuff, the passport, the residence card, so might as well go do the other things too, yeah? So if you brought the items necessary to get the proof of residency, you also have everything you need to get health insurance and pension. So might as well get it all done. Get it all done at once, since you probably have so many other things to do if you just moved to Japan. And that's pretty much all you need to know about getting a Juminhyo, a proof of residence. And be sure to prioritize this when you move to Japan, because you're gonna need your Juminhyo for basically all the other stuff you need to do when you move into Japan. I know this is a very stressful time when you're moving to a new country, so I hope this segment of the English Guide to Minami can help ease in your stress just a little bit. Thanks so much for tuning in, and keep it locked to Yes FM.